Alright, folks. Today, I was gonna go around the map and look up where the rest of the compendium... What? What? I already messed that up. I was gonna look up where the remaining map locations are, but I got too lazy and I didn't research into that. So instead, we're gonna do the compendium. First, was it here? Yeah, it was here at Hitino. That's where you get the compendium pictures. I need to see roughly how much money I need. I need to wake up early for work tomorrow. Oh, trust, I got a lot of complaining to do tonight. Okay. Let's see, how much? Okay. At least we have the numbers. So, hold on, let me pull out my phone's calculator. 60 plus 34 plus 183 plus 3. 280 times 100, well, 28,000. Divide by 300, 93. I figured I would need around 100 anyways. Okay, so to grind for said money, we are gonna go to... where is it? Ah, over here. We are gonna go here. We are gonna go to Farron, and we are going to grind for Farosh horns. Because they sell for 300 rupees each. So, roughly around 100, 93, or 94 of these, and we should have enough rupees. But that's assuming I didn't have any to begin with. But I'm still gonna go for like 100. Alright, so I got me some complaining to do. You guys love me complaining, don't you? Actually, in all honesty, nobody cares. But, alright, so... First, let's get everything set up. Do I have any flame weapons? Okay, I do. Good. Why did I put this on? Whoops. I need to put this on first. Alright, so I want to tell you guys a quick story about something that happened tonight. Literally moments before I started recording this. And that's the first thing I'm going to complain about. Alright, so you know the method. Come over here. Grab a wood. I'm going to put on the other outfit first. I forget. Do I need to make it morning? I forget. Anyways. So, just before recording this, I went and took a big shit. So, because I was in the bathroom... Alright, I didn't even look at what bows I had. Oh, do not have bomb arrows equipped. So, I went and took a big shit tonight. So, because I was in the bathroom for quite a while... My dad was doing the dishes. In fact, I hear the water running to this moment. He's still doing the dishes. Now, I've complained in the past before how my family lazy as hell. Only people who do the dishes in this household are either myself or my mom. My sister, my dad, yeah, they don't ever do it. So you might be thinking, well, isn't this a good thing? Your dad's finally doing the dishes, gives you and your mom a break. I would say that, however, would you believe there's actually a way to do dishes wrong? And I don't mean just breaking everything. See, the way my dad does the dishes is that the tap is on the entire time. The water is running the entire time. And no, not a slow... mild stream. No, it's on like full blast. Or at least close to it. Like... Here I was, worried that one day my sister would ask me, "Brother, how do I do the dishes?" And I would have to answer to her, "Sister, you are a 30-year-old grown woman. You don't need me to teach you how to wash dishes." But like... Well, I don't want to go up to my dad and be like, "Dad, Are you serious with how you wash the dishes? Like, you can't turn off the water while you scrub? Like... Oh my goodness. My goodness me. You might be wondering, like, what's the problem? If you haven't picked up on the problem yet, like, what's the problem? Well, using a lot of the water bill. Look, listen, the struggle out here is real, alright? We all know that prices are high. We all know that life is expensive. You try to cut corners wherever you can. You try to save wherever you can. And then you have moments like this, where unless you do it yourself, you know, it's like, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. Oh my goodness, I swear to you guys, I am so close to blowing my brains out because this family, when, you know, you complain that you have to do the dishes every single night, and when you don't do the dishes, you know, you get called, hey, lazy fat boy, why didn't you do it? This is your job, why didn't you do it? You're supposed to do it. And then when finally someone else steps up, when my dad finally steps up and voluntarily does it, it's like, you're not doing it right, you know? See, the way I do the dishes, I rinse everything off first, you know? Sometimes there's bits of food stuck on, so you rinse it off first. Well, actually, I like to soak the dishes and the utensils right after dinner. That way, whenever I decide to do it, maybe like an hour later, that the food or the sauce or whatever still on the bowls, the plates, the utensils doesn't dry up and crust over. So by soaking it, it stays malleable. It stays, I guess, soft. So I can easily just rinse it all off. So, you know, I soak them first so that it's easier to clean. And then when I do get around to cleaning them, I rinse off any solid bits. I grab the sponge, grab the dish soap, I wash everything, and then I put them all to the side, you know? That way I can rinse all of them in one go. My dad, however, water on the entire time. He cleans one object at a time. So, scrubs a bowl, rinses it under the water, puts it into the dish rack, next bowl. It's like... why? Why? I can't just have a simple life where things make sense. I know I'm complaining about nothing, like, oh, your dad is doing the dishes, and... so what, he's using a little bit more water than you do, or you would like. It's not that big a deal. It's like, you're right, I'm making a big deal out of nothing, but still, it's like what I said earlier, you know, the struggle is real these days. You try to save wherever you can, and I know I'm not one to talk, considering, well, we all know how recklessly I spend money on... honestly, things that don't matter in life, like all my figures, my amiibos, my Pokemon cards, other collectibles, like, yes, I know, I'm a hypocrite. I kind of lost count how many I've gotten, so let's go and collect them. I forget what number you can, what number you can have on screen until they disappear, until they start despawning. How many do I have? I had one before. Oh boy, there they go. There they go. So yeah, it's like I can't even take a break, you know? Oh my god, why? Why is my family like this? These lunatics I live with. And, you know, I just know the exact words my dad is going to say to me, even if I bring this up to him. Like, Dad, you're washing dishes wrong. You know, Dad, can't you do it like this so you can stop wasting so much water? I know very much what my dad will say. My dad will be like, son, You know how many years I've been washing dishes? I was washing dishes for years before you were even born. I know what I'm doing. And then he'll probably say something like, you know, you're really gonna nitpick over something so small like washing dishes? If you wanted, if you want it done properly, then you do it. Anyway, so enough complaining about my dad over something super small and inconsequential. Let me shift the blame over to my sister, because I am holding on to my sanity every single day. Like, I am so close to being locked up into solitary confinement with a straitjacket on. I am so close to snapping every waking day. Actually, it was pretty nice the past week, just over... Wait, what? The past just over a week, I guess. Because my sister wasn't here. She went on a trip with her husband, and it was peaceful. It was so nice. But now that she's back, well, it's back to business as usual. Excuse me, I felt that one coming. Pause. Anyways, so let me explain. The past week, just over a week, my sister went on a trip with her husband, the parents' husband, and the husband's brother. I don't remember if I mentioned this. So it was supposed to be a family trip, you know? Let me put it this way. On that side of the family, both parents were gonna go on a trip with both sons and both sons' wives. Because, yeah, my sister's husband's brother is also married. Excuse me. But, well, there was an issue with her going, something about her passport expiring, and the new one didn't come in time, so that she couldn't go on the trip despite already buying the tickets and everything well ahead of time. Whatever. So, back to the point. So, my sister went on a trip this past week with her husband, and it was so peaceful without her. It was nice and quiet, nice and peaceful. No bitching I gotta hear. No me complaining. So no me bitching about her ass being super annoying. It was peaceful, calm, nice and quiet. Now that she's back, it's like, ooh, the rage is filling up again. So, she came back yesterday night. And I don't remember if I mentioned this before either. Her husband, just before the trip, he got like a flat tire, so his car needed to go to the shop, and I think the tire replacement needed to be on back order, so he couldn't get his car back right away. So he doesn't have his car at the moment. They got back last night, and he had to take my car, our car, the car that my sister and I share, he had to take our car to go to work, because he doesn't have his car. So, keep that in mind. Even immediately coming back from a week-long vacation, immediately the following day, the very next day, he still has to go into work early. Yeah? Cool. So, would you expect my sister to have to do the same thing? If you said yes, well, I don't know what you're smoking, but can I have some too? So I've explained the stupidity of my family's car situation in the past. How we are a family of 4 with 3 cars, and more times than I would like, we take all 3 cars to the exact same place where all 4 of us go to work. How stupid is that? But because my brother-in-law took our car to use. We only had 2 cars left. So, this morning, I went out to work with Mom. So, the 2 of us went out in Mom's car. A little while later, Dad went out in his car. Well, how the fuck is my sister gonna get to work with no car? She didn't. She just didn't come out. I even called her, too. I even called Dad, like, Dad, did you leave the house yet? You did? Is she with you? No? Oh, well, how's that gonna work, She has no car to use. Well, Dad was buying coffee at the time, so he was like, I'm still close by. I can swing by home and pick her up if I have to. Son, call your sister and ask, is she ready? Like, call her to ask if I need to swing by home and pick her up. So I called my sister this morning. I asked her, are you coming out today? Are you coming to work? She asked me, is there a car? I said, no. No, but Dad is still nearby. He can come back and pick you up. And then she told me, but I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. So that's a later issue. I'm just like, that's a later issue? What do you mean that's a later issue? There is no car for you to come out with. So, unless you come out now, there is no later. So she basically just told me, brother, if you really need me, I will find a way to make my way out there. I will find a way to come out. Essentially, just translating to, if I have to, I'll call an Uber to come out to work. Spending more unnecessary money. And at that point, I just hung up on her. Every time I hear some sort of attitude in my sister's tone, I hang up. I'm just like, nope, fuck this, fuck you, I'm done. I'm not even going to continue talking to you anymore. So literally every time I'm on the phone with my sister, every time I even get a little hint of an attitude, I hang up. I'm just like, nope, I'm done. I'm done talking to you. So yeah, she didn't come out to work today. Man, what is this bullshit? Her husband has to go back to work immediately the day after he gets back from vacation. I have to juggle 3 jobs, and yet she won't come out because she doesn't have a car. And because she's not ready yet in the morning. It's like... I tell you folks, I am holding myself back so hard. Not only from losing my sanity, but also just punching her in the face. Just slapping her into the future. You don't know for how many years I have held myself back. Honestly, with how much force I would hit her with, she might not survive. But I'm holding myself back because that is my sister, that is my flesh and blood, that is my sibling. According to my parents, no matter how badly she treats you, no matter how annoying she is, that's all you two have as siblings, is each other. So no matter what happens, you have to stick together because you're siblings. It's like, yes, I know. No matter how much I don't like it, no matter how much I don't want this to be the case, I know. Stop reminding me, please. But yeah, this is some bullshit. She gets to go on vacation. She gets to not go to work when she's back. And yet I'm the one who needs to find a job. I'm the one who needs to juggle 3 jobs right now. And for those of you who don't know, what do I mean by juggling 3 jobs? So, I have work at the family store, you know, the family biz. So that's job number 1. These punk asses I live with, they wanted me to find a job so badly, now I have one. Well, I'm training until I do full-time around September. So that's job number 2, the one I'm currently training for, to which I will eventually be working full-time. What's job number 3? Well, job number 3 is the part-time I have once a week. It used to be on Monday mornings, but now we've moved it to Friday mornings. So that's job number 3. I have the family store, I have the training, which will eventually become I have the training that will eventually be full-time, and then I have the part-time 1 day a week. Her ass gets to go on vacation, gets to not show up to work at her leisure, and yet I'm the one who needs to find a job. I'm the one who needs to juggle 3 jobs. I'm the one who has to cook dinner, do dishes, mow the lawn. Fuck my life. And it has to be me, because otherwise we have moments where Dad does the dishes and just wastes too much money. Wastes too much water. But you know, by extension, too much money. I really don't want to blow my brains out, but it's getting harder and harder by the day. You know, I've mentioned this before, I think. My sister, she's an adult, obviously, and she's trying to achieve motherhood. She wants kids. However, and I don't think she's exaggerating. I know my sister. She's not exaggerating when she says this. Once she's pregnant, she's just not going to work anymore. You might be thinking, okay, what's the issue with that? A lot of mothers stop working to, you know, take care of their kid. No, but in my sister's case, no, like, not even working until her maternal leave. No, the moment she finds out she's pregnant, she's just like, nope, I'm done. Just gonna be a lazy shit at home. And those are not far off from her actual words. Like, the moment she finds out she's pregnant, she's just not gonna work no more. And there's some pretty big glaring issues with that. Number one, well, her ass wanted me to find a job so badly and did not think of anything else. Did not even think about the fact that, oh shit, if I get pregnant and if I'm not working anymore, then uh-oh, brother's kind of not here to work anymore. He has a job elsewhere. Oh shit. Either I have to work, or he has to take time off from his new job, or we have to hire someone new. Yeah, she didn't think ahead. $36. And, you know, other glaring issues. How the hell is she supposed to take care of the kid? If anything, she's just gonna make us take care of the kid. She's gonna make me cook for them. She's gonna make mom change the diapers. And you know why? Just a reminder, I think I mentioned this before, but if I didn't, or if I did and you don't remember, or if you're new here, just a reminder. Do you know why I'm doing training right now? Why I haven't... Oh, excuse me, some stuff came back up with that burp. That's disgusting, I know. Let me drink some water. Anyways, do you know why I'm currently doing training? And why I'm probably not gonna begin full-time until around September? It's because the current person working there, she's pregnant. The moment she has to leave for her, well, childbirth, which is estimated to be around September, that's when I take over, because she's not going to work here anymore. She is going to... she's going to leave this position and raise her 2 kids, this being her second kid. So that's why I'm taking over when she leaves. So, I mentioned before that this job is far away. It is on the highway, or I have to take the highway to get there. She's pregnant and she still has to commute on the highway every single day to go to work. Do you think my sister would do that? Do you think my sister would go to the family store to work, let alone on the highway? Like, she has to work every single day. Well, I think she takes one day off a week, but, like, she still has to work. My sister? Nah, the moment the green light happens, you might say that's a red light for me. The moment the green light for having a kid switches on, yo, that red light for me not working anymore. Deal with it. Bye, bitch. And you know what the bitch of it all is? So, everything I'm venting to you guys now, I have vented this way to my friends. I've told my friends exactly all this as well. I told my friends all of the insanity-causing shit that I deal with from my family, particularly my sister. Aw, damn, I only got a scale with that one. And, well, in a way, my friends kind of were saying it's my fault without saying it's my fault. Well, not just mine, but also my parents, too. Because my parents... Well, not my parents. No, my friends constantly ask, yo, why don't you and your parents ever tell your sister to just fuck off? Be more stern. Be like, no, you need to come to work. No ifs, ands, or buts. You need to be out here. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to stop acting like this. You know, my friends question, why don't my parents and I just tell her to fuck off when she needs stuff and then be more stern with her? Well, I know you guys might be questioning that too, but you have to understand from my perspective, from our perspective, we tried for years. We've seen my sister's insanity grow more and more as time went on. We tried to intervene. We tried to question her. We tried to stop her. But she never listened. She just brushes it off as, y'all are crazy. I'm doing nothing wrong. So, after years of attempts, years of getting nothing but basically the middle finger, my parents and I, we all collectively gave up. We all realized, like, yo, we're all wasting our breath. We're all wasting our time and effort trying to change her, trying to fix her, trying to set her on the right path. We don't even bother anymore. She's set in her ways and there's no changing that. There's no point wasting our efforts to, you know, change what is essentially broken. And I've mentioned this before, but, well, you guys haven't seen Lost Cause like I have. Not only do I see it in the mirror, but I also see it in front of me. So yeah, as my friends question, why don't you guys do something? It's like, we tried, and we all gave up. So my friends, in a way, are kind of blaming me, or blaming us, well, me in particular, for enabling her. It's like, well, this is all kind of your fault for letting her be this way. It's like, of course it all circle back to being my fault. Everything is my fault in this world. Even when it's not coming from my family telling me this, even my friends are saying this. It's like, of course everything is my fault. It always comes back to being my fault. I can't do anything right in this world. You guys see why my mentality is completely destroyed? Why my will to live was eliminated long ago? There are times when I could burst into tears, but I don't. Even if I did, everyone would just tell me, suck it up, be a man. What are you crying over? Weakling. You're pathetic. Oh, how I wish I could just run away, get as far as I can from this life, leave it all behind, abandon it. How I wish I could just run away and start brand new. Did I mention yet how, not long ago, just before my sister left on her trip? Oh, speaking of which, remember at the very beginning of this playthrough, how, at the very beginning, I talked about the Japan and Hong Kong trip? Well, if you guys remember, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, if you guys remember, after that trip ended, the day we got back, I forget if it was that same day or the next day, but one of those two, my sister then went on her trip, leaving us here. So like, well, fuck y'all and your jet lag. I don't care. You guys had your trip, now I go on mine. So, you know, she couldn't stay behind to manage the store while my parents and I, you know, we worked through our jet lag. Nope. Nope, we had to all go into work the next day with our jet lag all bundled together. Oh, but when she gets back from a trip, she gets to take the following day off. While our parents work, I work, her husband works, her... Anyway, so as I was saying, did I mention this before? Just before my sister went on her trip, she asked me to mow the lawn, and I was so fed up with her shit. I'm just like, you know what, sister? Why don't you do it? Yada yada yada. She yelled at me. She genuinely got angry and yelled at me. Oh, so she's allowed to tell me to do things. You know, the moment I ask her to do things, she's just like, okay, then do it. I ask her to do something, okay, you need this done, then do it. Oh, but when I say it back to her, she yells at me. Genuinely, with actual anger, yells at me. You know, it's gotten so bad that it's come to a point where my parents are actually wondering. They're actually starting to blame themselves. Yeah, like, did I raise her wrong? Where did it go wrong? Well, like, is this my fault? Did I raise her wrong? You know what's pretty funny, though? My dad, he's just like, you know, your sister takes after your mother. Your sister has all of your mother's temper tantrums, or temperaments. You might think that's just dad deflecting how he raised her, and, you know, shifting the blame. But I don't think dad recognizes how he raised us either, and how that influenced her as well. Because let me explain something to you guys real quick. Let me first explain to you guys how my dad raised me. So, when Dad was growing up, Grandpa was not nice to him. Grandpa was not that loving to him. Grandpa was pretty strict, pretty cold, at least from the stories I hear. I don't know all the details. I don't know the full story. It essentially drove my dad from home when he was still young. I forget if he was like 15 or 18, he moved elsewhere. And then, you know, me growing up, it actually caused a noticeable rift between my dad and my grandpa. I think there was a period where I maybe went a decade not seeing grandpa, not seeing uncle, and the cousins, just because of my dad's relationship with grandpa. Eventually, they worked it out. But that's besides the point. Anyway, so as Dad was growing up, Grandpa was pretty cold and strict to him. Didn't really, according to what I was told, didn't really show too much love. Didn't really get him anything. Like, not even a toy car, not even anything, you know? Not anything to play with as a kid. So, that kind of made my dad think to himself, like, if I ever have a son, if I ever become a father, I would never say no to my kid, given the fact that my own father never got me anything. If I ever have kids, anything my kids want, I will always get it for them, no questions asked. Yeah, that's how my dad raised me. No matter how shitty my grades were, my dad always bought me all the toys I wanted, all the gaming consoles I wanted, all the video games I wanted. Literally everything. Everything I ever asked for, despite how bad my grades were, despite how badly I behaved, I still got everything I asked for. And, well, apply that with my sister, and you see exactly what happened. Hey, I didn't turn out spoiled. Well, I was spoiled growing up, but you know what I mean? I didn't become demanding. I didn't become egotistical. I didn't become... Well, if she's a princess, I guess I would be a prince. I didn't become a prince, you know? Her, on the other hand? Very much princess, very much egotistical, very much self-centered. You know, my sister was always a troublemaker growing up. I witnessed many, many times my parents would actually yell at her for doing something stupid as a kid. Now, don't get me wrong, I had that too. I did dumb things growing up where I also got yelled at, but not to her level. You know, it happened a lot. Oof, it was tough watching my sister's teenage years doing stupid stuff, and then watching my parents yell at her for it. How many am I at? 61. I don't know, my life is a mess. My life is an absolute circus joke. Nothing in my life makes sense. This especially doesn't make sense. My sister, the way she acts, the way she is. She's the one who's married? She's the one who found love in this world? Me, on the other hand, you know, yeah, I'm the one who's undeserving of love in this world. I'm the one who doesn't deserve happiness, huh? You know, if I ever were to run away, not only would it be to get away from everything, it would borderline be self-exile. You know, no one has ever found me lovable, but her, on the other hand, she got married. Fuck. You know, she does all this, and she's the one who's married. I cook, I clean, I go to work, and yet I'm undesirable. Well, my life is an absolute mess. At this point, I'm just living one day at a time. They don't want to think about the future. Why should I? Oh, you want to hear an example of why my dad is basically... My dad basically always says, your sister has all of your mother's temperaments. Like, she takes after your mother. So, literally the story I told you earlier, how today my sister didn't go to work because she just didn't have no car. So, I also mentioned my mom and I, we went out together. Well, this morning, Mom went to open the store first and she wanted me to go buy food. So I did. It was then, while I was, I was done buying the food, I was about to hop in the car and drive back. That's when I called Dad and asked, hey, is she with you? And then I called her, and then I hung up on her after getting some attitude. So I called Mom. I'm just like, Mom, listen to this. You know, she doesn't seem like she's going to come out to work today. Because she ain't got no car. I asked Dad, who was still nearby, and Mom was basically like, son, just stop worrying about this. Like, this isn't any of your business. You don't need to worry about this. You just come out, and you just come out to work. Alright? You don't need to worry about none of that. You know how she is. Like, don't worry about that. You just do your own thing, okay? Now, stop thinking about this stuff. Borderline giving me some attitude herself. And the thing is, I'm trapped with these guys. I'm trapped with this lunacy of a family. Not only by blood, but also by the fact that even if I wanted to get away from them, I couldn't. I got no money to buy my own place. I got no way to escape these guys and live on my own. I'm stuck with these guys permanently. This is my life. You know, you only live once. YOLO, remember that? You only have one chance on this earth, and this is mine. Ooh, y'all don't ever want me to get my hands on power, because if I do, yo, this planet burning to the ground. If I can't live peacefully, nobody can. I won't lie to you guys. If I had the ability to save the world, I wouldn't save the world. I would cleanse it. By burning everything down. No, don't think I'm joking. I'm not. Where am I at now? 72. Well, 76. I'm still gonna get to 100. Well, actually, we'll see, because we're already 44 and a half minutes in. Doesn't feel like I've picked up 70 of these. But then again, I have been babbling this whole time. So obviously, if you haven't picked up on this yet, if you were going to do this method, you want a good number of arrows, as well as a good supply of bows. Though I'm sure you didn't need me to tell you that. You're smart people out there. I see that Lino back there. I think this time the bow will break. So let me try to get nice and close. David, I think I hit the horn. I did! Nice. Oh, these are all 5-shot too. Well, I don't got too much else to say. By far the easiest method to grind for rupees in this game. Alright, here, let me tell you this. Once again, I don't remember if I mentioned this yet. So you wanna know why my sister specifically wanted so badly, was so hell-bent on me finding a job? Not only is it to get money, but that's honestly secondary in her mind. Primarily, she wants me to go out there into the real world and gain experience. Gain real world experience. Experience what it's like to work out there. Work for someone else. And I'm thinking to myself, you want this for me so badly, why don't you find a job? You know? You wanna know what she said? She told me, I don't need to, I already had a job before, I already got my real world experience, and plus I'm married now, I don't have to do anything. Okay, aside from that second part, she actually says that, by the way. So, let's focus on that first part. The fact that she already had jobs in the past. She already got her work experience. I brought this up to my parents and I asked them, like, hey, she wants me to find a job. Oh shit! I should have gone for a horn. Whoops. Ah, it's too late now. I'll just pick up what I can. Where am I at now? 84. I asked my parents, hey, has she ever gotten a job before? You know, she claims that she doesn't need to find a job herself because she already had in the past, and she already got her real-world experience. That's why she wants me to find one so badly. Has she ever had a job before? My parents said, well, she did have that vet clinic thing in the past. And I'm just thinking to myself, no, that was for school. That was for college. Has she ever gotten a job out there? A full-time paying job on her own? Has she ever done the resume, done the interview, gotten a full-time paying job before? Take your wild guess what the answer is. No! No, she has not. She already got her experience, my ass. If that's the case, so have I. I did co-op in high school as well. She did co-op in high school, and she had to do volunteer hours or whatnot for college when she did her vet tech thing. So according to her, that's real experience. She already got hers. She don't need to find a full-time paying job. But I do! Once again, let me tell you, I am holding myself back on absolutely probably crushing her skull with how hard I would punch her in the face. By the way, in case you guys didn't know, sometimes if you're shooting Ferocious Horn, and it just happens to be a thunderstorm, it is possible for lightning to strike Farosh, and for that to count as you hitting Farosh and getting something. You're more than likely going to get a scale. I don't think I've ever seen anything else come from that before. Farosh gets struck by lightning, and then you get anything but a scale. I don't think so. You know, there's no shards in this game. And little did we all know when Breath of the Wild first came out, all these dragons are female. Well, I need to wake up early tomorrow. I need to get to my 1 of 3 jobs. Well, at least tomorrow I get to enjoy $4 to $6 worth of a meal. Like I mentioned before, that this new job, there's a supermarket directly next door where I get the employee discount for food. I can go to the area of the grocery store where it's, you know, hot prepared food and the staff just scoop up a box for you, whatever you want. Well, instead of $10.99, I get it for $5.99. And then after tax, that would be $6.77. But if I go to a particular cashier, like it has to be a specific girl as the cashier too. It can't even just be that spot. It has to be a particular person. So if I go to that particular person to check out, I get $2 off. So instead of $5.99, it's now $3.99. So it went from $10.99 to $5.99 to $3.99. and then $3.99 after tax. I think it's like $4.29. So if I get lucky, I can have an entire lunch, a big-ass lunch, mind you, for $4.29. Yo, for these prices, my parents, my mom in particular, is just like, son, just buy takeout. Just buy like 2 of these, $8.50, and that'll be dinner. Even, I told this to some of my friends too, and they were like, yo, like, Friday after night, can you buy us each a box, and that'll be our dinner? Like, $4 for a dinner? I'm like, sure, I'm willing to. If they allow me to, that is. If I could buy like 8 different lunch boxes for dinner. And no, I doubt if I go to that particular cashier girl, I would get $2 off of everything. I think it's probably just $2 off in general. So that's why I say I get lunch for around $4 to $6. 98, I'll get 2 more. Even though I don't need 2 more, I'll still get 2 more. So I'll be more... I'll stick to the more safer side and say $6. $6.77 is what I get for a meal. So yeah, it's like, I'm willing to buy it for all you guys, you know. I'm more than willing to. It's just, as long as you don't mind the wait, and for it to more than likely be cold by the time I get back to town. But hey, that's what the microwave is for. That's what the microwave is for. Have you guys seen that clip of that lady pronouncing microwave as microwave? Man, tomorrow's gonna be busy too, since tomorrow there's gonna be a doctor, there's gonna be appointments. Tomorrow's gonna be busy. But thankfully, after it gets busy, after being busy is over, it's quiet, like very quiet. Quiet to the point there's just nothing to do. So just endure the handful of hours of being busy, and then you just get to sit there and do whatever. Alright, there, 100. Now, in reality, I only need to sell 94 of these, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold off in case I need rupees in the future. Let me change out of this ridiculous outfit. I can't believe I really just spent an hour doing that. Is there a lizard? There is. Okay, I will sell 94. You know, it's 93 point infinite threes is what I need. So 94. Well, actually, hold on. That like I said, that accounted for how much I already had. Wait a second. So 28000 minus 1548 and then divide by 300. I actually need to sell 89 if the math is correct. You know, you wouldn't believe how much math is in everything. And what I mean by that is, like, businesses, accountants. Because, goddamn, this world and how complex it has to be. You know, the same goes for the big businesses too, because they all have big automated systems. They have a store-wide system with every inventory item in stock, how much money spent to bring in the items, and then how much money was earned selling it. You know, how much income versus how much was actually spent. All of those are numbers. You know, honestly, doing this is leagues faster than actually going out there and taking pictures of everything yourself. Because look, I spent an hour getting all the pictures I had remaining. Let's say you do 2 hours of grinding Farosh horns. You would be able to buy all of these. Instead of going around the entire world, you know, the entire world, taking pictures of everything manually. I thought I could still add a picture, but it looks like I can't right now. I have a feeling some options are still hidden. Yeah. There are a couple of things that you cannot get a picture of just yet. I'll be honest, I kind of forget what some of these are. But I'm pretty sure I know what one of them is. It's the Master Sword. How do I pose? My god, I never used Compendium. Yeah, see, there you go, Master Sword. I don't remember what this is. What is this one? Wait, that's the... Is that the Lionel Crusher? That might be the Crusher. Which I don't have. I don't have the Lionel Crusher. Huh. I don't recall you needing to take a picture of the Crusher yourself in the past, but maybe you did. I don't remember. I think that's a Lionel Crusher, because all these Lionel weapons leading up to it. I think that's the Lionel Crusher, so I need to fight a Lionel and take a picture of it. Well, we'll do that next time. So, thanks for watching. See you guys.